Hello, everyone. Fun fact, Katy Perry went to my high school, so I love when we play some Katy Perry. But welcome to tonight's power session on going from confused to clear and learning how to make decisions you don't second guess. If you are brand new to Silk and Sonder, be sure to tell us in the chat. We are building a business that is here to help you live a happier, healthier, longer, and more fulfilled life through guided journaling, emotional health tracking, community, and personalized life coaching. For those of you that I haven't met, I'm Meha Agrawal. I'm the founder and CEO. I started this business in 2019. And before that, I was a software engineer and product manager. But ultimately decided that there had to be a product out there that would help us reduce burnout, anxiety, and stress and win back control of our lives. And here we are. And today we've got Maya moderating the chat tonight. So be sure to ask your questions in there. I'll try to get them in between slides if I can, or very much at the end of today's session. If you are joining and you are already a member of Silk and Sonder, tell us if you are a member of guided journaling, personalized coaching, or both, just so we can get a feel for who is here. And really, really excited to dive in. So let's move on to the next slide. Perfect. So we are, as I said, a brand that makes self-care and self-help easy, right? When I started this business, I was burnt out. I didn't even know that I was disconnected with my purpose. And I realized there had to be something out there that made mental well-being, daily mental well-being, and personal growth easy, accessible, and affordable for all. And so I launched the first tier of Silk and Sonder, which is a guided journaling membership that we offer. You get a physical or digital planner meets journal delivered to the mail or your inbox, depending on what you choose. You also get access to our companion mobile app, which houses thousands of daily journaling activation. So you listen to an audio module and you write things down, as well as events and community access. So you get 24/7 access to Sonder Club, which is our private exclusive community for idea exchange, tips, and support. And then you also get access to events and live classes. I think of them as almost like your gym classes, your fitness classes. So people like Maya are leading those like as your instructors, and you really just show up, you do the reps, you set up your journals together, and by doing that, you're actually 95% more likely to achieve your goals. Tonight, we're going to be diving deep into our second tier of Silk and Sonder, which is a personalized life coaching membership. This came about. Well, the vision for personalization has always been there. I actually launched Silk and Sonder thinking that everybody would want their own personalized journal, but then I realized people actually really enjoyed the shared experience of experiencing the same theme that changes month over month. But I always knew that in order for us to actually help people stay accountable towards their goals, we really needed to unlock personalization. So I used to work at Stitch Fix, which had figured this out for personal style. And I was wondering, why can't you just have a lifestylist who understands you better than you understand yourself and has a ton of data and insights to really figure out how to motivate you based off of your personality and your limiting beliefs? And so fast forward to last year, we launched Personalized Life Coaching. You get access to an in-depth holistic personality report, which tells you why you are the way that you are, what types of traps you might fall into when it comes to mindset and behavioral patterns. And then you also get access to your personalized daily plans. They could be daily or weekly or multiple times a week, depending on what fits for you, and access to your 24/7 lifestylist who, again, knows you and everything that you're sharing with us so that she can be accessible for both those reactive and proactive moments. On here, you see the very exclusive offer that's only available in this webinar. It's only going to be available for the next 24 hours. If you're already a member, I have decided this week that you are allowed, normally we say no, but you are allowed to share this with a friend or a family member or colleague. The more folks that we can have in our world that are more self-aware, the better for the planet. In fact, that's my thing around sustainability is really you want to ensure that humanity is preserved. And so definitely share it. We have a 30-day money back guarantee. And so if they try it and it doesn't work for them, they can always email concierge@silkandsonner.com. And for those of you who are on the fence and are second guessing and are going to continue second guessing this entire presentation, just freaking do it. You're not going to regret it. Like I said, we have a 30-day money back guarantee that no one has ever taken advantage of because they don't need to. The product is so good. So moving on, let's get centered. As you know, we like to do things in an immersive way here at Silk and Sonder. So go ahead and close your eyes. And it's already almost midway through 2025. You probably have a ton of goals that have yet to be realized. Just want you to push that aside for a moment. You showed up here for a reason, only a reason that you know, but you decided to show up for yourself when you could have been doing anything with anyone. But you're here. For some of you, it's late at night. For others, it's early in our evening. And I want you to go ahead and take 3 big, deep breaths with me and the rest of the folks that are here tonight. We're going to take one for ourselves for showing up today, one for our fellow peers who are present with us for tonight's event, and one for our community and world at large. So go ahead and inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more for our world at large. Go ahead and inhale and exhale. All right. We're going to throw up a poll now on what is your biggest decision-making challenge. So Maya's going to throw that up, and I'm going to give you guys about 30 seconds to answer it. Do not overthink it. I'm going to make a ton of punny little jokes throughout this presentation. Okay, we'll take 30 seconds. And as you're answering this, feel free to share in the chat what you chose and if there's anything you want to elaborate on it. So if you chose fear of choosing wrong, what is that thing that you're scared of choosing wrong? Or what are those things? Where does it show up for you? All right. I think we can end the poll. Okay, so as you can see here, it looks like it's a pretty close tie between overthinking every option, getting stuck in inaction. They're kind of related, but similar but slightly different. Fear of choosing wrong, constantly second guessing. So these are all more or less the same, but framing it in different ways is always interesting to see where your awareness is. The fact that you were even able to answer this poll means you are one step ahead of the curve, right? A lot of people don't even realize that they're analysis paralysis, second guessing is getting in the way of achieving their biggest dreams. Um, so let's move on. I want to share a few things that many of you wrote in the registration form. So I love looking at these before we dive in. Looks like people are scared, or the challenges that they're facing is they don't feel fulfilled. They have a ton of excuses. There's brain fog. They're stuck in constant indecision, too many decisions to choose from, stress, imposter syndrome, self-sabotage. Oh my God, imposter syndrome, obviously that's going to get in the way of decision making, right? I know for me, I've never had a multi-million-dollar business. So I every day think I'm a fake. I'm doing this wrong. How did I get here? What if everything crashes and burns? I should overthink every single decision. Let's see, feeling burnt out, getting motivated to go to work, not feeling like myself, not being able to focus, etc. So as you can see, there's a lot of overlaps, right, between burnout and procrastination. But the reality is a lot of those things happen when there's a mental tax due to contact, or sorry, due to this indecision and decision fatigue, which is related to your personality type, which we're going to get to in just a second. So I want you again to go ahead and close your eyes. But this time, I want you to imagine it's exactly 1 year from now. So it is June 5th. 1 year from now, it's midway through 2026, and you're still stuck on the same decisions. It's costing you progress. It's costing you peace of mind. It's costing you opportunity. And maybe you haven't made the progress you hoped for, but the reality is that life may look good on the outside, you're still waking up unclear. And the reality is you deserve more than that. You deserve momentum, you deserve ease, and you deserve to trust yourself again. So think about where you might be 1 year from now if you don't make clear decisions today. And tell us in the chat how that would feel if you're still stuck on the same decisions. Go ahead and open your eyes and drop it in the chat. All right, let's move on to the next one, Maya. I'm hearing shame, immature, discouraged, defeated. I can tell you, we're fast forwarding ahead, but one thing that's top of mind for me is brand unification. I've always wanted to build a legacy brand with Silk and Sonder, much like Disney or Nike, but it's a tough one, right? When you feel like you're being pulled in multiple directions with limited resources. And for me, what scares the living crap out of me is 1 year from now, knowing that I could have impacted many more lives, but chose to play small and second guess every little itty bitty thing gives me almost like sadness and just guilt that we missed the mark in being able to transform as many lives as we could have. So I want you to think about what are the decisions, big or small, that you have been avoiding, and go ahead and write those down. So it could be things like taking that trip, leaving your job, leaving that partner, taking more time for yourself. It could be small or big, just write it down. And go ahead, don't judge it, just name it. And I want to see what you have written down here. Okay, writing a book, moving somewhere where I'm more happy, budget decisions, not knowing how much money to invest in myself and career. Great. So my example, I think I shared it. One of them is brand unification. Should I unify the brand? Should I keep them separate, the product experience separate? Another one is choosing whether to not multitask when I'm with my daughter Anaya, because it's essentially like not being present. So all these types of decisions that tend to just cloud our clarity. Career change, cleaning out my closet, doctorate degree. Great answers. All right, let's move on. Now, what fear is holding you back? What's underneath the stuckness? What's the fear of failing or disappointing someone or making the wrong choice? When we're stuck, it's not about the logistics. It's usually about the fear. So I know people have mentioned that they know that there's a fear. What's the fear beneath your delay? And take a moment, take a solid minute. And I'm going to mute myself so you can really elaborate. Okay, excellent. People are saying fear that this change won't be what I'm expecting it to be. Kathleen, I encourage you to expand upon that. What are you expecting and what do you think would happen? Choosing my happiness over what's practical and efficient. Getting rid of something you need and have to repurchase it at a much higher price. Fear of shame and being misunderstood. Oh my God, I get that so much, Sandy. This is really, really important because when you can face your fear head on, you can start to take a little bit of action, right? Another one that comes up is fear of disappointing someone. Maybe you have spent your entire life pleasing other people, and making this decision for yourself is going to make them disappointed, or maybe not. So let's move on to the next one. Question number 3. What would clarity feel like? So close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing what matters, what you're going to say yes to, what that feels like in your body and in your energy. This isn't about the right answer. It's about how you want to feel. Do you feel calm? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel focused? Do you feel relief? Like a burden has been lifted off your shoulders. What would it feel like to feel clear-headed? If you could wake up tomorrow knowing exactly what matters and why, what would shift in your body or mind? I'm seeing a lot of calms. I'm seeing a lot of fulfillment, freedom, peace, relaxed, organized, fulfilled, lightness. Kayla, I love that. I always use that too. Just no more heaviness, just pure lightness. It would feel like peace. You'd stand up straighter, relief, amazing. For me, actually, clarity felt like abundance. So I feel like the moment I feel more clear, I feel more energized, and I feel almost like this magnet for more and more and more. And I just feel unstoppable. So it really depends on your personality and what it really what it feels like for you and what you gravitate towards. But the point is that it feels better than what you're feeling now. So let's move on to confusion is not a failure, it's a signal. So oftentimes we think that we're the problem, right? We're too indecisive, we're too emotional, we're too slow, but confusion is just data. It's just a signal to you that something deeper needs tending to. This is why reflection is super important because you might have unmet values, misalignment, fear of failure, and we don't need more pressure, we just need better guidance. So, why do we struggle to decide? Most people think it's because we're incapable or we're lazy, we just don't know, we're told to do things a certain way and we are struggling to just say yes or no. But really, it's that we're caring way more than we realize. Too many options, pressure to be perfect, emotional overwhelm, lack of self-trust. And when you have all of this rotating around in your head, then you're not able to make a decision. And also when you're told to make a decision with data in a way that you don't process. So for example, my mom is a decision maker when it comes to how she emotionally feels. And so she's forced into a decision when she doesn't feel ready to make that decision. It's just going to cost her even more. I need to make decisions with more informed data. I need visual understanding and information to be able to make something that's a clear decision. And so all these reasons are reasons why we struggle to decide. And there's common decision-making myths, right? How many of you have heard, we go on to the next slide? Yeah. How many of you have heard you just need to trust your gut? I mean, that's like literally, I get that all the time as a founder. Trust your gut. Now, as a mother, your mother's intuition. I mean, I get it, but I also know that the truth is, if you don't really know how your gut works, what does that even mean? How do you know if you actually are making the decisions out of gut? And is it butterflies in your stomach or is it a moth in your stomach? So this to me is easier said than done. And some people are really excellent at it, and some people are not. I see that Lisa Joe said, I've had some big messes from trusting the gut. Yeah, me too. You know, I trust the gut and then I get zero sales sometimes. Like it's not always the case. But there are things that you can do to help your intuition. And that comes from deeper reflection. Second is the best decision is the perfect one. I'm a perfectionist. I'm guilty of this all the time. Thinking more equals better results. Overthinking often creates paralysis, not clarity. So, we've got our friends who are like, oh, let me think about it. I'll think about it. I'm sure many of you today are going to be like, oh, I'm going to think about joining personalized life coaching. I'll think about it. Well, then you're just going to come up with a bunch of excuses on why not to invest in yourself, right? This is a very common decision-making trap. So, what does second guessing actually steal from you? Your energy. You spend more time worrying instead of moving. So one of my favorite quotes is around the only way to move to the other side of fear is action itself. And so no matter how small that action, that's the only way to get over fear. Second is your motivation. You're lost in indecision loops, right? So then you lose motivation to keep going. Your focus, you're scattered across your bajillion options. Your goals, they are definitely derailed or delayed, right? We don't want that. We're all about goal getting here. And then last, and I think most important, is your sense of self. You're constantly shaken by self-doubt. And so you become more and more disconnected with your purpose and your higher self. And so really important for us to understand why we second guess. And if we go to the next slide, these are the three root causes of decision fatigue. So I know some of this sounds a little redundant, but it's really important to understand. And I'd love for you in the chat to tell me which of these resonate the most. One is too many options, right? This feels like that analysis paralysis that I talked about. You can see 5 different ways forward, but none of them feel perfect. So what do? You freeze. You don't take any action. If you're an MBTI type with an N, so ENTP, INFP, INFJ, or an Enneagram type 5, 9, or 4, you might feel this type the most. I'm an ENTP, so I am really guilty of having a bajillion options to solve the same thing. And so this is a fun little affirmation and some prompts that you can take note of in case you want to get to this later. Clarity doesn't come from more thinking, it actually comes from committing. So that's the one thing I want all of you to remember if you're dealing with the too many options one. Second is fear of regret. This is the quiet spiral, the second guessing, the overanalyzing, the feeling like there's a right choice you're going to, you're going to miss and make wrong. Where are my ones, the Enneagram types, or the sixes or the twos, or on the Myers-Briggs, the INFJs, the ESFJs? You are most likely scared of making the wrong decision. You want to do what's right, comes from a good place for others, for your future self, for the bigger picture, but the pressure to get it perfect keeps you paralyzed. So your affirmation here is even if I make the wrong choice, I know how to course correct. Give yourself permission to move forward. All right. And then mental overload. So this one, for those of you who've joined me for one of the burnout seminars, this is literally burnout. So this is the kind of stuckness that looks like indecision, doesn't look like indecision. It's actually masked by burnout. So you feel blank, you feel tired, you feel like you should care, but you just don't have the capacity to care. This is common for the ISFJs, the ESFPs, and the Enneagrams types 3, 7, and 9. You're the kind of person who holds a lot for others and avoids discomfort by staying busy, but then eventually it catches up. So, what I recommend is this affirmation: I deserve clarity and I don't have to earn rest to find it. Now, this is an example of you are self diagnosing based off of your one or two Enneagram and Myers Briggs types. But with personalized life coaching, you actually get anywhere from 1 to 5 daily affirmations that are tailored to you, not just by your personality and your limiting beliefs that you're working on unblocking, but also based off of the goals and where you're headed. And so this is one layer of personalization, but imagine having multiple affirmations that are really tailored to you, not like the ones that we have in the app, which are more thematic. And that's really what helps with getting to that positive mindset and really unblocking yourself. So I want to see. I'm seeing fear. I'm seeing everything: mental overload, fear of regret, um, too many options. I'm definitely too many options. I'm also a type 3 Enneagram, so I have mental overload too. So I go from too many options, and then suddenly I'm overloaded, and then nothing gets done. I'm burnt out. Okay, next, we've talked about this, but it's super important to understand your personality because this is how you gather and process information. This is how you handle risk and uncertainty and how you seek validation and control. Personalities are fixed. You're born with them. They can kind of fluctuate depending on how you answer things, but they're more or less your hardwiring. This is your hardware, right? Your hardware doesn't change. What can't change is your operating system. So let's go into the decision-making styles by Enneagram type. This is obviously one of the core pieces that we bring into personalized coaching because it is, generally your personality. A type 1 might freeze when they're unsure of what's right. So we help them identify what's good enough for now, right? A type 3, like me, is someone who charges ahead very quickly but falls into a spiral if failure feels public. So our personalized coaching reminds us to check in to see if what we're doing is actually aligned with our core values, not just what success looks like on the outside for type 3s like me. So you can kind of see how decision-making styles are different for different people. And one thing I'm really excited about later this year, I'm going to be working with product and engineering to build out compatibility for teams and for relationships and parenting and things like that, because you can imagine I'm a type 3, my husband's a type 7, my dad's a type 1, I think my mom's a type 2. Imagine we're trying to make decisions on even fun things like trips or how, what to do with my daughter and their granddaughter. It's like people just have so many different opinions. My father refused to even, warm the milk to feed my daughter because he needed to do it right. And he was like so scared of messing it up that he's like, I'd rather not do it. So just small things, right? Your everyday things. How does that change with your different relationships, right? So that's something that we're going to bring visibility into to help work together. Moving on to Enneagram. Oh, sorry, not Enneagram, Myers-Briggs. I am an ENTP, right? And so for me, an ENTP likes big picture and spontaneous decision making. But when everything feels exciting, guess what happens? We do it all, and then everyone's overwhelmed and burnt out. And so I really have to ask myself, what serves future me best? So again, already with just one person, yourself, you've got your Myers-Briggs and you've got your Enneagram. And then with Silk and Sonder, we layer in everything else because it's just impossible for you or your therapist or your coach to understand you at a deep, deep level and how everything connects because these are all very different assessment tools. And so Silk and Sonder is the only company out there that's combining everything to deliver you a holistic understanding and heightening your self-awareness because then you can move forward with aligned action, but also integrating that into your daily and weekly plans, and serving that for your 24/7 lifestylist. So let's go on to the next slide. I have one more question here. What decision or situation are you telling yourself isn't a big deal, but keeps clouding your clarity? So it's a little different than what is the goal, but just think about what that might be. So it's something that you keep saying, oh, it's not a big deal, I'll get to it eventually, it's fine, but it's still clouding your clarity. So for me, the example that's top of mind for me tonight is I keep saying, oh, unifying the brand, not a big deal. Like everyone knows that we have these two products that are the main signature products. But because I am a type 3, there's that risk of public failure. And my fear is that, oh, people will come to Silk and Saunders homepage and not understand either product and then therefore not buy our products and services. And so then I second guess, I get perfectionisty about it. I start chasing a bajillion different ways to explain the same concept, and then nothing gets done. So let's move on. And thank you, those who are sharing. I'm going to be reading this when we go through our demos. So with clarity comes through reflection, right? You don't need to force the decision, but you need to understand what's driving the indecision. So it's a very subtle understanding, right? This is this idea that you really need the right prompts and infrastructure to unpack what's holding you back. And so that's really where personalized coaching comes in. So that is why we have personalized life coaching. Because I, as an Aries and as somebody who has a bajillion ideas and wants to do it correctly and do it well, I was tired of not knowing what to do. And so basically, I decided to create a product for myself that understands me, my values, my core beliefs, what I'm after, my true highest self. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have doubted Silk and Saunders' potential. So if you ask me what would I do if I knew I could never fail, would absolutely be building a legacy, global, lucrative brand. But I've played small because I just have this fear of failing, right? That's always there. And so I wanted to build a personalized life coach who understood me better than my real executive coach, my best friends, my husband, my parents, because nobody, including myself, could give me that shortcut to success. And so that's exactly what personalized life coaching is, which we're going to get into, but it's really your daily motivation and growth partner. And before we get into our demo, I just want to remind you, we have all these options. Many of us have used them, but we can pick the harder way where the onus is on us to understand ourselves, or we can take the shortcut with Silk and Saunders personalized life coaching and get to the nuts and bolts and the deeper understanding of ourselves faster through our products and services. And in addition to that, obviously, it is much cheaper than some of these other options because it works out with the deal that we're running to be less than $2.50 a day. All right. So a little preview into what personalized life coaching is all about. You get plans, again, geared towards who you are. And then you get access to a 24/7 lifestylist who understands you better than you understand yourself. And the best part is you can talk to her any time of day, and she is going to talk to you in a tone that is best suited for you. She's going to motivate you. She's going to tell you why you're remarkable. She's going to remind you of your strengths. And the more you share with her, the better she can curate your daily or weekly plans. So it's really, really a great opportunity for personalization at a level that we've never seen before. So let's go ahead and see what the 24/7 access to coach looks like.
The 24/7 chat feature is one of the most powerful parts of your personalized coaching plan. Why? Because it gives you direct access to personalized support whenever you need it. Whether you're stuck, overwhelmed, or just need a boost, your coach is right there in your pocket. Here are a few quick tips on how to use the chat so you can get the most out of it. Let's say you're stuck on a journaling prompt. Just click the Get Help button right next to it, and your coach will jump in through the chat. Your coach will guide you with follow-up questions, reflections, or even a suggested response to spark your thinking so you're never journaling alone. Not sure how to fill out a page in your journal or plan? Just ask your coach. You can request a thought starter to spark ideas, or even have your coach help complete the page for you based on your unique personality. Some of the most popular pages members get help with are monthly intentions, habit or mood trackers, weekly setup pages. Whether you're feeling stuck or just short on time, your coach is here to support you and simplify your process. Sometimes you just need support in the moment. You can use the chat to share what's on your mind, how you're feeling, and why. Whether it's stress from work, a tough conversation, or just a wave of anxiety, your coach is here to help you work through it. All you have to do is open the chat and say something like, "I'm feeling off today and can't focus. Can you help me figure out what's going on and what to do next?" Your coach will guide you with personalized reflection, tools, and steps to help you reset and move forward, without judgment. Here are a few other ways you can use the chat. Ask for help prioritizing your to-do list, get ideas on how to structure your day, learn time management strategies that match your personality, or simply ask for a positivity boost when you need a little encouragement. No matter what you're facing, big or small, your coach is here to guide you, support you, and cheer you on. So go ahead, send your first message. We can't wait to support you on your journey.
Great. So, how personalized coaching helps you reduce this risk of analysis paralysis. So I think of this personality blueprint that we create for you at the second you sign up with Silk and Sonder and personalized coaching and go through the onboarding as your operating system. This is how you're hardwired. These are the things getting in your way of being your best self, making the right decision. So cognitive distortions. Oftentimes we don't make decisions because we are magnifying the worst case scenario, right? Or you're thinking about what I should do versus what I want to do. And so I always tell people to come back here anytime you're caught in analysis paralysis, because this is your guiding light. This is your rubric on how to make clearer decisions. But the reality is that you really can't memorize everything and it's hard to put it into practice. And so that's why you have the aligned action portion of Silk and Sonder's personalized life coaching offering, because those are your day-to-day tasks. It's kind of like going to the gym. You go for a walk on the treadmill, or you lift the weights, or you go for a walk outside. You don't question what is going on in my body. Am I going to get leaner and stronger and, lighter, or whatever you're after? You just trust the process. Similar for this, it's your mind fitness, and we make that easy. So we can see the whole thing in action in our next demo.
Personalized life coaching. We're so glad you're here. By being here, you've already done something powerful. You've chosen you. You've chosen to pause, reflect, and invest in the version of yourself that's aligned, grounded, and growing. At Silk and Sonder, we believe transformation begins with intention, and that's exactly what this coaching experience is designed to support. Whether you're navigating change, building new habits, or craving more clarity in your day-to-day, you're not doing it alone. Your journey starts now, and we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Let's dive in. Now that you've completed onboarding, it's time to explore something truly special, your personality report. This is a snapshot of you, not just who you are on paper, but how you show up in the world, how you think, feel, connect, and grow. Inside, you'll find your full personality reading, including your emotional health score, your superpowers, and your areas of opportunity, all designed to help you understand your strengths, patterns, and where you might need a little extra support. We've pulled together insights from your Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, human design, love languages, attachment style, and more, including your thinking traps and saboteurs, with practical ways to navigate each one. You'll also find your core values, your wheel of life reflection, and the 3 focus areas you chose during onboarding. This helps us co-create a coaching journey that's deeply aligned with the life you want to live. We've even included learning lists, books, podcasts, shows, and movies that speak to your authentic self, and self-discovery homework to help you explore your legacy, relive your biggest highlights, and dream up your mini and major manifestations. This report isn't static, it evolves with you, and it's the foundation we'll build on together. Now that you've explored your personality report, it's time to dive into your personalized plans, your daily or weekly guide to growth, alignment, and reflection. These plans are designed for you and with you in mind. Whether you prefer to receive them daily, weekly, every other day, or just whenever you need them, you get to set the pace. There's no right or wrong way to complete your plan. Some people tackle it all in one go. Others space it out throughout the day, or even stretch it over a few days. This is your journey. Each plan begins with your mantra, a grounding intention for the day. Then comes your tip of the day, a quick, actionable insight tied directly to your personality and goals. Next, we invite you to slow down with a short breathwork practice, followed by your affirmations, designed to shift your mindset and uplift your energy. Then you'll get to reflect with your journaling prompt. If a prompt doesn't resonate with you, simply tap Replace to find one that feels more aligned. And if you're feeling stuck, just hit Get Help. Your life stylist will send you thought starters to guide your response. You can even journal directly in the plan, just type and go. Finally, you'll end with a manifestation activity, a chance to dream big and get clear on what you want to attract. And remember, if you come across an affirmation, journaling prompt, or manifestation activity that you love, don't forget to save it so you can come back to it anytime. These plans are here to support you, not pressure you. So go at your own rhythm and know that your life stylist is always just a message away. Before we move on, there's one more feature within your coaching plan that's essential, the Notes for Next Time section. You'll find it at the bottom of every plan, and it's where you can share updates, feedback, and reflections directly with your life stylist. Why does it matter? Because your plan should grow with you. While your original intake form helped us understand where you were starting, life is always shifting, and this section helps your life stylist adjust your plan to reflect your current mindset, emotions, and priorities. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed and need extra support. Maybe a journaling prompt didn't land, or a new goal popped up. This is the place to share it. You can write things like, I've been feeling anxious about an upcoming move. Can we focus on grounding techniques? Or, I really love the affirmations this week, especially the ones about confidence. Can we keep those coming? You can also use it to give feedback on what isn't working. The health-focused prompts haven't been resonating. Can we focus more on career clarity instead? And don't worry, you don't need to write a novel. Just a few lines can make a huge difference. We recommend checking in at least once per week, so your life stylist can curate your next plan based on what's really going on in your world. The more you share, the more aligned and supportive your coaching experience will be, so don't skip it, leave a note, and let your life stylist know how they can best show up for you. If you ever feel like your coaching plans are too much or not quite enough, know that you can update your preferences at any time. Inside your dashboard, you'll find a section where you can customize everything from when and how often you receive plans, how many affirmations and journaling prompts are included. This means your plans can flex with your schedule and your energy. You can also update your focus areas as your goals evolve. Whether you're shifting priorities or entering a new season of life, we make it easy to adjust your focus. And we keep a log of all your past ones, so you can always reflect back on how far you've come. Your coaching experience is designed to grow with you. So if something feels off, take a moment to reset your preferences. We'll take care of the rest. Let's talk about one of the most powerful parts of your coaching experience, the 24/7 coaching chat. This is your direct line to support, anytime, anywhere. Whether you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, unmotivated, or just need a little guidance, your life stylist is right here for you. Stuck on a journaling prompt? Just hit Get Help, and your life stylist will jump in with follow-up questions, suggestions, or even a sample response to get your thoughts flowing. Not sure how to fill out a page in your journal or weekly plan? You can upload a photo, ask for feedback, or even have your life stylist help complete it with you based on your personality. Some of the most popular pages members ask for help with are things like monthly intentions, habit or mood trackers, and weekly setups. But chat isn't just for journaling, it's for life. You can reach out when you're having a tough day and just need to talk it out. Feeling anxious before a meeting? Hit send. Can't focus? Your life stylist will help you understand what's going on and suggest small steps to reset. You can ask for help prioritizing your to-do list, structuring your day in a way that works for your energy, or finding time management tips that align with your personality. Or maybe you just need a little encouragement or a mindset shift. We've got you. Your life stylist is here to support you, guide you, and remind you that you're not alone on this journey. Want to go even deeper in understanding yourself? Head over to the Content Library. This is your space to explore powerful topics like your Myers-Briggs type, Enneagram number, core values, or even self-limiting beliefs through expert-led masterclasses and guided exercises. Whether you're craving clarity, tools for growth, or just curious about how your mind works, you'll find something here to support your journey. And the best part? We're constantly adding new content, so you'll always have something fresh to explore, led by coaches, psychologists, and thought leaders you can trust. You don't have to go through it all at once. Just follow your curiosity and let your growth unfold. You're officially ready to begin your personalized life coaching journey, and we couldn't be more excited to support you. Remember, there's no perfect way to do this. This experience is designed to support you, your rhythm, your growth, your goals, and you're never doing it alone. If you ever need help, have a question, or just want to talk something through, reach out to your life stylist directly in the chat or email us anytime at concierge@silkandsonder.com. We're here for you every step of the way. Personalized life.
All right. Thank you all for watching that. Fun fact, I think since doing that demo, we haven't updated it, but we've launched personalized recommendations on podcasts you should listen to. So continuous learning, podcasts, books, movies, TV shows based off of what types of goals you have and your personality. We also have the ability to answer journaling prompts. So you can take a picture of your journal. This is actually coming from a pain point that I had, which is I would give myself homework because my executive coach wouldn't always give me homework, or my life coach before that wouldn't give me homework. So I would request homework or create it for myself. I would then answer it and then take a picture and send it to my coach. But of course, I'd have to wait until my next session. So it was kind of annoying because I really wanted to dive deeper in the moment. So we have this ability to answer the journaling prompts by either taking a picture of your journal itself or typing directly. And I think later this week, maybe next week, we are launching speech to text because the extroverts like me, especially because we already have a journaling practice, your hand gets tired. So this is an opportunity to actually talk into your journaling prompt answers, and all that information will get sent to your life stylist if you choose to let it, and then she'll be able to tell you ways to go deeper. So there's just a lot of new things since even that. But I know we have 1 minute, but before we do this last exercise, I want people to drop in the chat what's holding you back from joining personalized life coaching today. So if you already have it, maybe use this time to text a friend about personalized life coaching, give them coach.silkansonder.com with the clarity code. But those of you who are not yet personalized life coaching members, I want to know what you're second guessing, because you are here for a reason. You likely are too scared to make the decision to buy today. I'm just making an assumption. I would be too. Go ahead and write your objections or questions, and don't feel shy about offending me. I am here to answer it. Money, great. So 30-day money back guarantee. If you show us that you actually used the product how it was intended and didn't find value, you can let us know, and our team will look in and see if you qualify for a full refund. It also works out to be about $2.40 something cents daily. That's your price for 6 months, and you can always email us if your financial situation hasn't improved, and we can see what we can do. Let's see what else. And the money thing is a really interesting one, right? Like if any of you know how to get the government to pay for this, amazing, right? Because I need money to actually invest in the product and the resources to help build it. But you're worth it, right? Like when you think about investments for this type of personal growth stuff, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. With my first coach, she made me literally write what I felt was like a blank check, but it was like, I don't know, $15,000 commitment, and $15,000 I did not have. But if I had not done it, I never would have had the mindset to launch Silk and Sonder. So these are small things that we're making accessible at a much more affordable price point. Um, Hearing a little bit of Chat GPT stuff, great that you use Chat GPT. I use it too. It's much harder for Chat GPT to understand all your personality stuff. It only really can deal with whatever you feed it. And so we try to make that a little bit easier for folks. Struggling with starting new habits and sticking to them. That's why you try personalized life coaching, because it's actually designed in a way that's intended to motivate you based off of your natural hardwiring. Um, Timing. Do I have enough time? This is excellent. Again, you probably need to start at a slower pace and then build up. It's a stacked habit. So I always tell folks, if you're on the fence, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. You'll be shocked and pleasantly surprised at how well we understand you with our personality report. And that I think will build the trust in what your daily and weekly plans are going to look like. But for closing, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to think about 90 days from now. So in 3 months, that's what it takes to actually experience permanent change. You're suddenly making decisions with ease, little and big ones. You're operating with more energy, not because you're doing less, but because you're doing what actually fuels you. And you're becoming crystal clear on your priorities. You're not just going for the loudest task in front of you or the next obligation, but you're doing what actually matters to you. Suddenly, your goals and dreams are being met. You're smiling more. People around you start to notice the difference. And the best part, you didn't really have to do the hard work. Silk and Sonder did it for you. Silk and Sonder understood how to motivate you. And now you've got a lifestylist that you can message any time of day, night or day, for anything at all. And she helps unblock you. So you're no longer just surviving, you're steering the ship of your life again. And with a big deep breath, let's inhale and exhale. And I want you to drop in the chat what feeling came up for you. For me, it was excitement and pure joy, like almost like a lightness, but still joyful. Let's see what people wrote. Peace. I'm seeing peace, calm. Remember those feelings that we wanted to feel in the beginning? It's probably resurfacing here. As we do that, let's go ahead, Maya, move on to the next one. This is the code to access and get your exclusive offer for personalized life coaching. This is a steal of a deal. It will not be around 24 hours from now, so be sure to take advantage of it. And for those of you that are already members with personalized coaching, you have the option to send this to your friends, which I personally think is a better deal because they get this very, hefty discount for a longer period of time. But if you've got overeager beaver friends who just like need it to be free, you do have a referral link. I think it's accessible from your plans or your personality page, maybe at the bottom. But you can gift them 14 days free on us. So that they can get their, coaching experience started. So you can choose between the two. But again, the more you share, the better your life is going to be, because when people are more self-aware, then everybody thrives. So with that, thank you for joining. Thank you for going over, and we can roll on out. Bye, everyone.